Alrighty boys, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I don't get to drive this car very often, nor do I have a whole lot of time. So as usual, while I'm driving, if you guys don't know, I have another truck channel, and a lot of my videos is me driving and talking, because that's very suitable time for me to talk while I drive and share my opinion and whatnot. But here we go. The point of this video is the oil consumption. Seems to be a big issue with these vehicles, and I want to give you my opinion and answer. Clearly, I own a GT350, and do they burn oil? Yes and no. Well, gee, Paul, you couldn't be more direct than that, couldn't you? Guys, that's my experience. Hold on tight. Let me share it with you. I ain't just pulling stuff out of thin air. This car has 3,000 miles, okay? On these 3,000 miles, it's on its third oil. I mean, as far as I can count for it. So original oil that I got it with the car, changed it out at 500. And then the second oil I changed out at 2,300, okay? So I'm on the third oil, according to my count. So whatever. You guys get the point here. As far as I owned it, and on my watch, that's where I'm at. So from 7 miles or 14 miles, I can't remember how much I had when I got it. I think I had 14 miles when I got it, to 2,000 miles, okay? Did not burn any oil, guys. It did not burn any oil, okay? From zero, no, I'm saying that wrong. From, let's just say, from day one, which was 14 miles, to 2,300 miles, to be exact. That's when I wrapped up my my second oil. So within that mileage, I broke in the car, obviously the first 1,000, and then after 1,000, I started rolling into it. So from 2 to 2,300, this car's seen it's seen a load. Let's put that simple. It's seen the drag strip. It's seen the circuit track. I mean, I was wrapping out this engine and pushing it hard. My theory always was these things are going to burn oil because of the high RPM. And guess what? The oil did not go anywhere. I did not lose oil, and that oil didn't go anywhere. Well, gee, Paul, what are you talking about? Yes and no. Well, guess what? I did an oil change at 2,300, and for some reason, I got a medium level, okay? 9 quarts got me to the middle. Usually, or the first time I did the oil change on our own, 9 quarts got us full, but something happened. We drained more oil somehow. I don't know. Maybe the oil in the cartons was colder and it didn't drain out. I don't know what the deal is, but it got me a half level, okay? Well, at 2,300 to about 3,000 miles, exactly, it's at 31 right now, 31.17. So from 2,300 to 3,000, I burnt, and it was a sudden thing. It was all of a sudden. I went from half level to empty, meaning minimum, you know, between minimum and maximum, 2,300, following along. I did an oil change and got me the mediocre, the middle, solid middle. Well, at 3,000, it dropped straight to, you know, minimum. So a little recap. From 0 to 500 on the first oil, no oil loss, no oil consumption. From 500 to 2,300, I'm talking about oil lifespans, okay? No oil loss, no oil consumption. So at 23 to 3,000 miles, I lost half a quart. And it was like a boom thing, you know. My car gets parked on level ground in a garage, so there's no buts, ifs about it. It gets parked, and in the morning before starting it, so hours later after all the oil, you know, rush down to the oil pan, I check the oil. That's how I check my oil every day. I know these cars are notorious for burning oil. Some people swear they do, and some swear they don't. So I figured I'd do my video of it. So that's my experience, guys. I only have assumptions at this point, and there's 2 of them. Like any mechanically inclined fella, individual, gal, knows that when you put a load on the engine, it'll burn oil. So high RPM or low RPM? I've just mentioned high RPM was my suspicion, but it didn't burn oil. So from 2000 to 23, it was on the track. It was doing all sorts of stuff. I was pretty, you know, pushing it at that point, and it did not burn oil. Now, why did it burn from 23 to 3? Two assumptions. First one is I ended up in a colder weather. So this gauge here, see how it's right about 200? gauge there. Probably didn't keep a close enough eye on it. Like, we're all guilty of it. We take a quick look on the coolant. It's good. Let's roll. I always know, because I got diesel trucks and I watch the temps, especially the cooler the weather, the higher the difference could be from coolant to oil as far as warm-up process goes. Like, so first one, I'm assuming that at some point, because it was a dramatic drop from middle to low, medium to minimum. Okay, I'll stay quiet for a sec, let you guys enjoy the exhaust. Man, she sounds good. So, assumption is from 23 to 3, what happened is at some point I pushed the engine when the oil wasn't quite fully warm. In my definition, in my world, a full temperature, full operating temp is 180 and up. A minimum of 180. So the oil was not at least 180. That's what I'm thinking, because it was all of a sudden drop. It wasn't gradual, it wasn't nothing. It was just like medium, nothing. And I got nothing 2 times, you know. The two times I drove the car on minimum, I took it easy, and, you know, pretty much 2 cycles, 2 different days, the same reading. So that's my conclusion. You know, that's what at this point at 3100, I think that's what happens. I got to keep a really close eye on that oil. Make sure it's fully warmed and it's all to operating temp before I go do anything crazy. And second one is not load the engine at low RPM. Even right now, I'm at 2400. That's pretty low for this engine. You know, be very sensitive with the throttle. Don't roll into it. That's just what I'm coming up with, guys. That's what I think it is. I really think that's what it is, and obviously I'll keep you posted. So that's it. As always, you boys have a mighty fine day, and may the Lord bless you.